Okay, let's go over the types of posts the calendar will give you ideas to promote. So, the artificial intelligence is constantly going to be looking through your data to see when you get the most engagement. It's also going to be looking through other people in your niche and try and figure out what they're doing and what you're doing and come up with an idea of what's actually going to work to get maximum exposure, maximum engagement to increase the numbers uh, on your social media pages. So, if we look at our calendar here, let's look at it by the month. What we'll notice is that you have all these little time slots and you have tips on what to post and when. So let's go over that real quick. So a motivational post would be something along the lines of quotes or let's see if we can go to the ideas here. Okay, so your motivational post would be along the lines of, well, motivation, duh. Quotes, tips, greetings, any of these types of things that are more motivational types of things. And you get your quotes. Everybody loves these quotes. So these would be motivational type posts. Something you could use with your product or service and incorporate it with the quote always works best. But you can also use these ideas by themselves and just put your icon in there for the branding as well. So that's your motivational post. You got promotional posts. So promotional posts would be, I recommend sticking them in there maybe once a month or so. They're going to be things that you're doing to try and create engagement through promotion of your product or service. So, a contest, obviously promotions, which would probably, most of the time it's going to be some type of prize or an ad or, 10% off, whatever. Promotional is pretty easy to understand. The ones that people get hung up on, however, are the blog posts. What is that? So a blog post and a educational post would be along the same lines, and that you can, if you're blogging, which a lot of clients do, like to create content. It does work. It is good for the entire health of your digital marketing presence. It helps with SEO. It helps drive traffic. It helps create content you can drive an ad to. It helps give you stuff to post to your social media pages. And it builds authority and shows that you've got a knowledge base on your website showing how good it is or how good you are at doing whatever it is you do. So with your blog and educational content, we've got articles, hundreds and hundreds of articles that you can go through based on your whatever niche you're in. And that would be a blog post. Another educational post would be along the lines of "Did you know?" Presenting a quick fact about your product or service, and we suggest inserting those a couple times, maybe once or twice in a month, with a fact or something about your product or service. It's just what you're doing is you're nudging them using education and information about your product or service. As we get these numbers up with the fun stuff, then we can slide some maybe not as fun stuff, but more informational about your product or service to nudge your tribe or your audience to be engaged and interested in your product or service and obviously purchase it. So that's your blog post and motivational. Those the educational blog post. We get your motivational, promotional, engaging. Now, engaging posts would be along the lines of anything where you're going to say, like or share, or if you want to do a poll, if you want to do maybe a tip and ask a question, how do you do it? You want to do a contest, any of these types of things are engaging posts. Yeah, a fun post can be an engaging post. So what you would do is create something along the lines of, have a happy weekend. I hope you enjoy it. We'll be using our product or service this weekend. What are you going to be doing? And that creates people engagement. Polls, questions. We'll do an episode on an Ask campaign, which you can use through Facebook as well. And always engage your audience. Ask them questions about your product or service. As your engagement levels on your page rise, they'll start answering these things. And I've seen it where it's crickets, and then voila, you've got people answering. Well, just because they answer doesn't mean you stop. So we continue this, being consistent with it, every month, and create an engaging page where people are answering your questions, talking to you. That's when you know the health of your social pages is strong. But it takes a little work. It takes a little time to get there. So I hope I answered the question of what the heck are these things. Now, do you have to follow these recommendations? Absolutely not. They're recommendations. They are recommendations using some data to come up with them. So while you may not want to do all of them, you probably need to do some of them. And these will change as your audience changes as well, as they digest different content. If you've got a Facebook page, like we've got test pages, there's just nothing but humorous content. Well, obviously, we're not putting out educational and stuff like that. But with most small businesses, you want to have a good mix of all of these. And then over time, that will give us the data to determine absolutely what the best posts are. And it becomes more of a science than a game. So if you've got any questions about the calendar, please ask. And we'll see you in the next video.